Hello and welcome. In this video, we are talking about how to use Netlab. So, the assumption is you've clicked on the Netlab link provided to you and you have credentials that I provided to you. If you don't have credentials, reach out. I will get you your login details. So, first thing you're going to notice is as a student, you may not see anything. You may have scheduled some lab time. Who knows? The question becomes, well, what exactly is Netlab used for? I used the word scheduled earlier. That's the key here. We're going to schedule some access to equipment. Netlab is like a data broker on the front end, meaning it actually controls access to many different systems behind it. We access those through lab reservations. So we click on lab reservations. We're scheduling it for myself. I currently have Teams disabled. You may have a longer list or shorter lists, but in the lab environment, it should tell you what to select. So I'm going to run through a few examples just so that we're all on the same page. So for example, maybe I'm taking a Cisco class and I need access to Cisco switches and routers. And my lab instructions say to access this pod. So I'll go ahead and click on it. I'm going to choose the lab it told me to select. I'm going to go ahead and configure VLAN and trunking. You can click on it or you can click on the little down drop. If you want to see the topology, you can do that, which I'll go ahead and do that. This consists of 2 virtual machines and 2 switches. And you know what? Yes, that is what I want to work on. It will show you the day and time. Currently, this red line is the system's current time. I may want to schedule it for tomorrow, or I may want to schedule it today. If we see that someone is already using MDP1 or whatever the first column is, we can select the second column, third column, fourth column, and if necessary, I can always add more columns. But these are groups of equipment. So for just, let's say, 1 and 2 are fully scheduled, fully blocked, and I can't access them. So I'm going to go to pod 3, select the time that I want. So current time and how long I want to work on it. By default, it will just choose the next half hour. So it gives me a lab reservation of 34 minutes. Maybe I want more than that. So if I click on the box, I can select to 11:30, 12, 12:30. Choose the time. Normally give yourself a few hours. So I chose 12:30. That gives me an hour and 34 minutes. I click submit. I now have a reservation scheduled. When I click OK, if you do not get an interlab, you may get a building or something like that. If your environment has lots of virtual machines, it may take a few minutes to build. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my lab. And part of this is also navigation. So if I click on the PCs, it will load the virtual machine and give me access. But you'll also notice up here it changes the thing that I'm working on. I can navigate between all the devices. Sometimes it's not the quickest. So again, part of this you got to be patient. If you have routers and switches, the switches and routers, they're real equipment. So it's not packet tracer, it's not a simulation. It is a real device behind our gateway. So it's having to go through its boot process. Real equipment takes a little bit, so that's one of the reasons why I am giving students this access. And some of it is we just have to give it time. If you want to go ahead and explore the other tabs, you can. Status shows you what's going on, if they're powered on, if they are still initializing. You'll notice the switches are initializing and currently in automated options mode. That just means that they're going through their normal process. What's interesting is you can see what they really are. It's a Cisco 6350 behind all of this. And for switch 2, it's a separate Cisco 3650. So there we go. If you want to, while we sit here and wait for them to actually fully initialize, we can go through options. You can change the size, power on, power off, take screenshots. For the switches, you can do an erase config, a load config, a password recovery. You can send a break key because if you accidentally lock yourself out. So there's lots of options. So I can already hear some learners going, well, what about my lab? Like, where are the instructions? Either you'll get the instructions as a PDF in Canvas or your LMS, or there should be a content tab. I recommend downloading the lab so you can have it off your screen. That way you can just work through it and you just follow the steps. It's similar to Packet Tracer. You're going to notice that it's the same structure, but the difference is this is real equipment. And if you want to go back to the topology page, there we go. You work on your lab. I will say that the first time you get in here, it normally takes 5-ish minutes to power on all the equipment. So the switches, the routers, again, they're real equipment, so it takes time. Something that's happening in the background is it's turning on the switches, it's erasing the current configuration of the switch, it's preparing the switch, so there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. So that's why I'm saying just gotta be patient. You'll notice if you try to tap enter or something, it's gonna tell you it's ignoring you because it's waiting for the switch to be fully brought online. Alright, while that's doing that, up here we can see our username, we can see our pod, we can erase everything, save everything. Our reservation, if we're getting low on time because we have a countdown, we can always request more time. We can also change the exercise. We can go, okay, I'm done with this lab, change exercise. Or I can just completely end my reservation, which I may do. Alright, there it goes. So, the Linux backend, we're using Proxmox, finally allowed the switch, or the switch finally got to the point where it can connect to Proxmox. So it started loading. We know that because it's loading a Cisco IOS. Here's the traditional switch startup. Here's all the interfaces. It is currently loading the configuration for this lab. Again, you can't stop it. That's the nice thing is when you're using Netlab, it will do a basic configuration. And sometimes it does some weird stuff. Like the hardware tried to set it as a Cisco 2960 when we know it's not. So it got an incomplete command. And then it tried going back to the configure terminal. We were already in the global configuration mode. Because we are using a 3560, there are certain things that are present. So it's renaming certain interfaces. Nothing that we need to worry about. Once we get to our prompt, we're good. We can start configuring. Why did it do things like this? That way it can line up to the content steps correctly. So when it says for switch 1, it has the names. When it says interface FA or F06, even if the interfaces are named slightly different, Netlab makes sure that they are connected. That way, when you type that command, it works. If we go to status, you can see everything is now powered on, so we are good. Let's say we did all the lab, we completed it, and we are confident that we've completed it. Do the required steps for the assignment grading, and then go ahead and end your reservation. Let's say we want to do a different lab. Maybe we want to do a lab that's just very heavy virtual machine. Sometimes your labs will only have a single lab document. That's why I say the instructions will either be in your Canvas or LMS or within that content tab. Here we have 4 pods and a little arrow. This gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pods. Again, the red arrow is where we're at. I'm just going to set it for close to 2 hours. Go into my lab. This lab is for creating virtual machines. So we only have a Windows 10 with virtualization turned on. So nothing else. We have the icon. We're going to click on that. It will load a Windows 10 virtual machine for us. Just like with the first pod type, you already know that it is a little slow at the very beginning because it has to start everything, and oftentimes with the virtual machines it has to build everything. And for the most part it is relatively fast, but sometimes just learners expect everything to be instant, and it's not always that way. Alright, here is our Windows environment. Right now we have Hyper-V, we have Oracle's VirtualBox, and they're currently updating VMware, but VMware will also be in here as well. But that way you can use this environment to build your virtual machine. Yes, I understand it's a virtual machine inside of a virtual machine, but it gives you the environment for you to do this. So let's say you have an old laptop that just quite can't do virtualization. That's why we have this pod for you to be able to work on that. Again, you follow the instructions provided to you. You take whatever artifacts that are needed, screenshots, write-up, whatever. You submit that to your instructor, and then when you're done, go ahead and end your reservation. When you click End Reservation, whatever you built, whatever you did on that equipment is gone. It's wiped out. So make sure to save your work, screenshots, or whatever the case may be, before you end your reservation. All right, so that is how to use Netlab, how to schedule, how to navigate, and how to go between the different pod types. Questions, thoughts, concerns, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.